5 o'clock day or 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna lay nice and easy on your back. Close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, and try to feel as comfortable as you can. Okay, I want you to sink into your body. Feel your feet, your legs, your hips, your torso, your shoulders, your neck, your head. Sense the room around you. Feel the floor underneath you, supporting you. You just inhale nice and big, fill those lungs. And exhale, let it all out. Now imagine a root that comes from the base of your spine, burrows into the earth. This root grows through the floorboards, through the dirt, through the earth's crust, all the way down to the center of the earth. Imagine there's something down there for your grounding root to hook onto. Metal bar, a hook, whatever you imagine. See your grounding root making a strong, solid connection. Notice that your grounding root is thick. It's also hollow. This will allow you to easily access the energy down to the root into the earth. Take a moment to connect with whatever energy in your body you no longer need. Imagine that energy flows down to the center of the root like a tube, and the energy can easily flow down to the earth. Send any negative thoughts, any fear, worry, or emotions holding you back. Send them down to your grounding root, feeling them slip away. Feel yourself no longer needing them as you release them. Breathe in. As you breathe out, imagine that all that negative energy flowing away. Turn your attention to the bottoms of your feet. Imagine that the earth can send you neutral grounding energy through your feet. This energy flows through your legs and your pelvis and returns down your legs, creating a loop. Feel the earth energy cleansing and clearing. Now connect with the star above you. Imagine that star sending down white cosmic energy to the top of your head. See that energy flowing into your head and down your neck, through your shoulders and your arms, and also your torso. It travels back up into your pelvis. It mixes with the earth's energy, and then it flows back up and out the top of your head, creating another loop. Feel that flow. Cosmic energy coming in and going out. The earth is coming in and going out. All of the energy you need to release is flowing down to your grounding root. Finally, imagine a bright golden sun above your head. It's pure, healing, loving energy. The sun sinks into the top of your head like a pat of butter on warm toast. The sun's energy melts into your head, your neck, your shoulders, and your torso. Feel its warmth filling you up and melts into your hips, your pelvis, your legs, and your feet. Some of it travels down the grounding root into the earth. Feel the loving presence of this sun's energy flowing through your body, and notice how you feel. Take a nice big inhale. Do you feel calmer? Do you feel lighter or brighter? You can have 2 suns or 20. Soak up as much energy as you can, releasing all the negative energy down into that grounding root because it no longer serves you anymore. Once you've soaked up as much loving energy as you can and sent away as much negative energy as you can, open your eyes, wiggle your toes, and return to the root. And you're slowly going to roll yourself up to a standing position. So you're back.
Yeah. I really down.
Okay, so we've been talking about hips this week. How are your hips feeling? Good, good. So we often don't talk about, bless you.
Thank you.
That our hips store a lot of trauma, negative energy things in there, right? We hold them tight. So we're gonna try to just focus on relaxing them, figuring out how they move a little bit more and putting some movements together. So you're gonna stand feet about hip distance apart. Now I want you to take your hands, I want you to find those hip bones, find the top of the pelvis here. I just want you to rock back and forth, side to side. As you do that, I want you to just kind of release, just kind of what we did on the ground, letting them find some movement, let go of whatever they're holding, and then come back to a stillness in the center, feeling hopefully a little looser. So now you're going to tilt your pelvis. We're going to come forward and backward, just tilting the pelvis, feeling that movement in the hips, maybe feeling the low back a little bit more, feeling the abs pull up. Couple more. There we go. Now we're going to add those together. So it can be a little tuck out to the side and around, it's like your little belly dancer. Or you're hula hooping. This is why hula hooping is so good for the hips. Get that circular motion. Just imagine your pelvis just kind of going in a circle, and then go ahead and switch directions of your circle. Okay, so I just kind of want you to release them. I want you to think about the femur bones in the hips and just kind of loosening that joint just a little bit. Just kind of shaking it out, loosening the glutes. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, let's start with some little hip circles. So your options are, you're going to come to your toe on one side, or if you want, you're going to lift your leg all the way up. If you're on your toe, it looks like this. You throw that open and bring it around. So we're thinking about moving the hip in the joint nice and easily. If you feel like you can do more, you're going to take your leg up and we're going to do some circles. So think about everything else is staying stable. We're really trying to get the femur in the hip to kind of just give me that rotation. Rear pops a little. And then go ahead and switch directions. One way feels a little more awkward than the other, tighter. And then we're going to go to the opposite leg. Okay, so start with your toe. Go in one direction. If you want. Oh, you went the opposite foot. I was like, so you're just going in one direction.
Oh, wait.
Did you switch feet before?
That's right, I did, I switched.
She switched feet.
Yeah, I'm all.
Are we switching feet now?
Yes.
Yes, okay, that's what it is.
I switched feet.
Instead of switching directions.
Oh,
No,
I need to just go.
Yeah. And now switch directions. There you go.
My hands are tired.
I know from balance class. I'm with you. Nice. And then come down and just shake it out a little bit. Okay, so we're going to stand with our feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And I want you to think this time about how the glutes are working with the hips, okay? So we did this a little bit last time about squatting down and pushing the energy back to those femur bones to get that squat, and then pushing through the heels and the glutes to straighten the legs, right? So think about as you come back, pushing the energy this way instead of forward through our knees, and then bring it straight up. Nice. Do a couple more. Back and up. And back. So think about pushing back with that energy and up. And one more time. Nice. Ooh, did you feel that more in the glutes, hopefully? Yes. Okay. So our hip can internally and externally rotate, right? The legs internally and externally rotating in that hip joint. So what I want you to think about is we're going to do a little bit of that here. So you're going to turn your foot so it's out and feel what it feels like to have that external rotation. What does the glute feel like? What does the other leg feel like? Okay, keeping that external rotation, I want you to just come across and out just a little bit. So you're gonna use those inner thighs a little bit to come in and out. That's it. Yeah, you can move it up too if you want.
No.
Yeah. And then place that foot down so it's parallel. Okay, now go to the other side. Turn the opposite leg out. Give me that external rotation, and then it comes across and out. Nice. This is probably feels more comfortable to people than internal rotation. So when we do the next one, it'll feel a little bit more awkward. And then let's go back to that original leg. This time I want you to turn your foot in. Where does that feel like in your hip? Just a little bit different, right? Feels a little more awkward, right? Okay, so now lift it up and try to go front and back. I know.
Why is that so hard?
It is hard. It's not easy, right? Because you're trying to keep that internal rotation. And then bring it down and have your feet come parallel. Nice. Take your left foot, your opposite foot, turn it in, and then balance and come across and out. We're working muscles in a way we don't normally work them, right? So we're doing the opposite of what our natural position is. This is just externally rotate and turn out. Nice. And then bring it back down. Whew. Feel those hips, huh? Already. Okay, so now you're gonna balance on your left foot and take your right foot just kind of out in front of you. We're just gonna swing it back and forth. So now you're just getting that front and back motion, getting the swing in there, getting some movement in that hip. And stabilizing in the other hip. And bring it down. Nice. Okay, balance on the right leg, left leg goes out and back. Nice, everybody looks good, standing up nice and tall. And then bring it down. Nice, how's that feel? Okay, so we're gonna take a yoga block, a towel if you have something at home, something that you can, it's similar to a yoga block, size of the yoga block. And I want you to start with it, not tall waist, long waist, flat, and we're gonna put it down on the ground. You're gonna stand on it with your right foot. You're gonna hold on to that too, Carla. Bring that next to you.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
okay.
Watch your glasses. There you go. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta stand on it.
You're gonna stand on it carefully.
Okay.
Okay. Stand up nice and tall. And all you're gonna do is take that left hip and drop it down and lift. So find the parallel where the hips are parallel. Drop the left hip down and lift. So see how the pelvis is here. We're getting this little drop and lift. Drop and lift. Drop and lift. 3 more. Drop. That's it, Carla. Drop and lift. 1 more time. Drop and lift. Nice. Come on down. Carefully, we'll switch feet. Mine too. Mine too. We're heavy on these yoga blocks, evidently, right? Okay, so you're standing on your left foot. I want you to find a place where your hips are parallel, right? And then you're gonna drop the right hip down and lift. It doesn't have to go flat, but down. You don't even have to touch the ground if you don't. It's okay. I just want you to feel that hip, that shift of the pelvis, so that right hip goes down and the whole leg lowers. That's it. It's not easy to disassociate, right? We're so used to like clenching here and holding on so tight. And 1 more time. Nice. And then come on off and shake it out. How'd that feel for everybody? Good? Okay. So this time what I want you to do is you're just gonna stand next to your block. And then the foot that's closest to the block, what I want you to do is you're gonna lift your leg up and you're gonna tap it over. Okay? So what happens is I want you to lift from the hip and the abs here and bring it down and over. So we're gonna go back and forth. Try not to move anything else, right? We're trying to get this whole, just one leg moving while everything else is staying stable. There we go.
Shouldn't be popping every time.
No, gotta work on that.
What's wrong with it?
It's holding. One more time. And bring that knee up. Nice, and then stand on the other side of your block. And we'll do the same thing with the other leg. So find your balance, engage your core, and we're gonna come up and over. There we go. There we go, one more time. And up and over. Beautiful, and then put that block aside. Okay, we're gonna give you, take our feet a little bit wider apart this time. Kind of like you do in yoga. Or you can always face that and hang on to it too. Whichever way you want to do it. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay, so your feet are wider than hip distance apart. And what I want you to do is I want you to slightly turn your toes in so that we have a tiny little bit of internal rotation, not huge, but a tiny little bit, right? And I want you to feel what this feels like here. Now, let your hips go back and forth here. It's gonna feel very different than when we had our feet parallel. It's gonna have a little bit more glute activation, a little bit more quad activation that we're kind of working through, and not as much movement, right? But you might feel the inner thigh stretching a little bit more in this position as we get some movement this way. Nice, and bring yourself back to center. What does it feel like to tuck your pelvis this way and then stick it out? Tuck. There we go, just rolling that pelvis back and forth. Nice. So when you're doing this, I want you to be curious and listen to your body. Just kind of check in with the hips. Is there a spot or side that you feel maybe is tight, it's stuck, it's holding, something might need to let go? And while we're doing it, can you breathe that fresh air, that nice sun energy that we talked about at the beginning, kind of coming into those spots to help you release the negative stuff through your grounding root. Now, take your right toe and turn it out. So we have a little triangle pose here. Got it, Carla? Okay, if you can, you want me to put the thing in front of you?
No.
Okay, you're doing great. Okay, if you can, you're gonna bring the arms out to the side. You can always bring them on your hips too, Cindy. You don't have to bring them out. Whatever works. And what I want you to do is I want you to stick the left hip back as you reach over to the right leg. So the left hip's going out and you're reaching over. There you go. Nice.
Oh, I'm not gonna bend.
Not gonna bend.
Oh.
You're keeping straight right now. We're gonna bend in a second. Nice. Okay, feel what your hips feel like here. Pull yourself back up to a standing position. Now you're gonna bend that right knee and we're gonna do the same thing. This time we're gonna shift that hip forward, that right hip forward. You're gonna feel the left hip push in a little bit, keeping your chest nice and tall. Nice. What do those hips feel like here? Does it feel different than when they were straight? And then bring yourself back up to a standing position. Turn your right toe back in so it's a little bit internally rotated. Turn your left foot out. Okay, keeping both legs straight. If you can, you're gonna bring your arms out. They can be on your hips. You're gonna stick your right hip out as you bend to the left. You can reach with the arms if you want. Can you feel the hips opening a little differently on this side? There you go, Carla. That's it, right there. Just stay right there. Perfect. And then come back up nice and tall. Now, bend the left knee. Sink the left hip forward like you're pushing the energy through the knee. Pushing into this right hip is pushing down and stretching that inner thigh as you open it up here. Beautiful. yourself back up. Okay, now I want you to turn both feet out, externally rotate them. And I want you to give me a little bit of a squat here. So we're sitting into those hips. Got it? Okay, now you're just gonna shift your weight back and forth from one hip to the other. And when you're here, same thing, you're gonna be curious. What does it feel like? Can you stay out of your knees by sticking your booty back a little bit more? The hips are staying stable in the center as we, the hips are not tilting, is what I need to say. The words are not coming out. As we go back and forth. And then find your center and pull yourself up nice and tall. Beautiful. Now, if you can, you're gonna heel toe your feet back together. So you get an internal rotation, external rotation. Internal, external, till you come back together. Nice job. Okay, I want you to take the block. Now, you can start by turning it this way. Cindy, you're gonna be super careful. I might give you 2 blocks just in case. You can be careful with those hips. You can stack 2 blocks if you want. Okay. Carla, you probably can stack 2 blocks too. And then I'm gonna be careful if you want to. Okay. So the block is here. What I want you to do is I want you to take your feet wider than hip distance apart and come forward so that as you go back, you're gonna try to tap your block. Okay? So if you need, I was gonna say still one up, Cindy. And then you're gonna try to come up. Nice. Feel those hips. Do you want a second one too, Savannah?
Maybe.
There you go. There you go. So what you're thinking about as you get down here, whoop, I almost fall, right? Is opening those hips up a little bit without letting the knees go too far forward. That's good. And keep your heels down and push up. So you're trying to go down as far as you can, keeping the heels anchored to the ground and the chest lifted as much as possible. And feel those hips and those glutes working, right?
That's definitely different than a dining room chair.
Yeah, isn't it? Get that little bit lower than the dining room chair. Nice. And let's do one more time. That's it, Carla. Nice. Weight in the heels. Savannah, you got it.
Hip does not like it.
It doesn't, it needs it more. Nice. Okay, now if you have 2 blocks, you're gonna stack them and you're gonna sit down on it like this. Okay, so as you're sitting here, your feet are wide. And I want you to take your got that little bit of the external rotation. Got it? That's it.
Yeah.
Nice job. A little wobbly. You okay?
Yeah, I gotta get my feet out.
There you go. Okay, so hold on to the knees, or Carla, you can hold on to the bar. And I want you to bring yourself forward a little bit. Feel those hips open. And you can just kind of rock side to side a little bit, trying to get some movement in those hips as we open them up some. Feel good? Okay, then go ahead and extend your legs out. Get some movement in your hips as you give me a little bit of a lean forward. Trying to keep the chest lifted as you give a little bit of a lean forward, almost like you're doing a pancake stretch. You're gonna fall off. Don't lean too far forward, you're gonna fall off. If you want, probably you can take 1 block out and come down to 1 now. That's easier, now that we're just on our booties. That'd be better. That's a little more stable for everybody there. Okay. Now go ahead and bring your feet, the soles of your feet together. And I want you to put your hands on right above your knee on your thigh here. And I want you to just try to equally push them down, drawing the knees to the ground as you pull your chest up. Got it? There you go. And just open those hips up. What does that feel like? Hopefully good, not too tight. So in the homework, there's a weighted butterfly, and the weighted butterfly is sitting on you can sit on the block or you can sit on the ground like this. And it's finding just some easy weights, 2 balls or something, to put here and try to help you open those hips up.
Yeah, I think I had my feet a little too close.
Yes, if you feel like it's too much, you can move the feet away some for sure. Yeah, and then you can get them open a little bit more. And then if you need to challenge yourself, you can bring them closer. Yeah, nice job. Okay, so now I want you to take the feet out in front of you. We're gonna try this when we're sitting on the block. If you feel like it's too easy, you can always just do it on the floor. You're gonna have your left hand come to the mat beside you. And I want you to take, without moving the other one, trying to bring that, I know, without falling over, trying to bring that right foot behind you, okay? Now, can you feel the difference in the hips? Do they feel like one is shifting forward as it's reaching? Can we pull it back so that the hips are level and then pull our chest up nice and tall, right? So often we don't think about, yeah, it's stretching it. Often we don't think about when we're in these positions where our hips are. So like when we do it on the reformer and we're on our side and we say, you know, stack your hips. This is what we're talking about, getting them so that one is not pulling out, one's pulling back. We're pulling them at the same resistance, so they're same level. Nice. Then you can take your hand down to take that leg back out. Woo. And then switch and bring the other leg back behind you. Okay, same thing. Does this one feel tighter? This one feels easier for me. But can you level those hips up? Can you draw that right hip back and be level with the left hip? And can you sit up nice and tall? Beautiful.
They're level or not.
Huh?
I said I can't tell if they're level or not.
So if you feel one hip going forward like that, go back and forth and see what it feels like to bring that one hip forward. Reach that right foot out and then draw it back. When you draw it back and you feel that they're level, that's what I want you to feel. Does that make sense? Yeah? So there, now draw it back. Now they're level. Okay. Now they're at the same place. Yeah, that's it. Nice job. Okay, then you're gonna take both legs out and bring your feet up again. This time's a little bit easier on just one block. And you're just gonna let's just let the left leg fall open, trying to keep yourself up nice and tall. So you're gonna hold onto the right knee, let the left leg fall open. Feel the difference in that hip. And then bring it up and let the right leg fall open. Okay, now you're gonna carefully take that block out from under you. Oh. And we're gonna go back to that 90-90 sit. So let's put one leg in front of you and one leg behind you and try to keep that nice tall spine. So the back hip, the foot that's back, you're trying to draw that hip to the ground, right? This is where we feel how tight our hips are. And we're trying to get it nice and even. So that same drawing of the hip back to make them level, that's kind of what we're aiming for. It's a little harder in this position, but we're aiming for that so one's not coming forward, trying to keep our hips nice and square and level just like that. Okay, so from here, I want you to give me a little bit of a lean forward. Can you lift your booty up just a little bit as you lift your chest? And then come back up. Nice. And then come forward, lift your chest. Nice. And come back. One more time. Bring it forward and lift. Okay, so now you can use your hands if you need to. We're going to do that shin box lift. So the shin box here rolls forward as I lift my booty to come up on my knees. You can use your hands if you need to. Now to go down, I want you to push the tailbone back, push it 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 back. Slowly and bring it down. Nice. Okay, bring it up again. Lift the chest, lift to the pelvic floor. Nice. Good job, girls. And then slowly lower it down. One more time, bring it up. And lower it down.
Let's let it go down.
It is, you will feel like that because when you're here, it's really hard to keep them level. So what you're trying to do is keep them square as you push back and come down. It takes practice and kind of loosening it up really more than anything. Okay, swing that back leg out in front of you. Swing the front leg in back of you. And then the front leg. Now this is the front leg. Here we go. Okay, so try to draw that hip down first. You're just trying to sit up nice and tall Open that hip up. One side's always tighter than the other, right? Okay, give me that little bit of a hinge forward and just get a little tiny, try to like almost lift your booty a little bit, but don't come up. And then come back down. We're gonna do a few just leaning forward. Just a lean forward and a lift to the chest and back. One more time like that. And then bring it back down. Nice. Now you're gonna do the full roll up. Okay, so we're gonna do that shin box roll and come up. Nice. And then slowly push the booty back as you slowly sit down. That's it. Yep, you got a block if you need it. Bring yourself up. These hips, right?
I know I tweaked this knee getting out of the car yesterday.
Oh no.
It's like, really? So I'm trying.
Trying
not
to be gentle with it. You got 2 more of these.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
in case.
just in case. And bring it down. Let's do one more. And nice. And take this legs both out in front of you and take them a little bit wider than your feet. The hands can come behind you. We're just gonna drop them to one side, feeling a stretch and a twist, and then drop them to the other side. Nice.
I thought the other side would be tighter, but it's this side.
It is that side.
This is the one that's popping. But
Well, we've got some imbalances we work on. It's all good. One more time, each side.
Mama's kind of working.
I got all summer to work on her. Nice, and then bring it back up and bring the legs out in front of you. Okay, you can have that block close by. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna start by just bringing your hands behind you, lifting your chest. Your feet are out, legs are out nice and long in front of you. So this is abdomen, hip, quad, okay, all working together here. So what I want you to do is I want you to lift one leg, trying to keep your chest up nice and tall, and then place it down, and then lift the other leg. And place it down. And down, lift, and down, lift, and down, lift. And one more time each side. Nice. Okay, so now you're going to take that yoga block and you're going to put it on the outside of your right ankle. Okay, from right here, you're going to try to lift that leg up and over and then back. If you can keep your chest up nice and tall, you can take your hands away. If you feel like you need support, put your fingers there. Either way, totally works. And you're going to go up and over that block. Feel that hip working? Yes, quad.
Right here.
The quad, yeah, the quad's working a lot to lift it up. And one more time, each way. Ooh, shake that leg out. Flip that back to the left side. Nice, get a little reset. So you're sitting up nice and tall. If you need the hands, take the hand. You're gonna lift up and over. If it's too easy, you can challenge yourself by going like this with the block. Or if you really need a challenge, just go like that. So you choose whatever works for you. That's it. One more time each way. And then shake your legs out. Whew, nice job. Okay, so we're gonna roll to our backs.
how do the tiniest movements hurt so much?
They do, don't they? They usually are. We get those little stability muscles working and they're hard. Okay, so you're gonna take that yoga block and you're gonna put it under your right foot. You're trying to keep your feet parallel. And we're gonna slowly roll up into a bridge. Now, as you slowly roll up into a bridge, I want you to think about keeping your hips level. So even though the right foot's on the block and the left foot is not, I want you to try to keep the hips as level as possible and then roll it down. So we're gonna do about 4 or 5 on this side. Roll it up. Feel the energy go out through the femur bones, keeping the hips level, and then roll it down. get that tilt as you peel it up. Engage the glutes at the top and roll it down. Let's do one more. Bring it up. And down. Nice. Okay, from right there, keeping the right foot on the block, bring the left leg up towards the ceiling. Okay, so right here, all we're gonna do is rotate the hip. So I want you to externally rotate it so you have that Pilates feet. And then I want you to internally rotate it as much as you can. It's a little bit harder in this position, right? To internally rotate. Externally rotate, internally rotate. So you're twisting the leg in that joint. Externally rotate, internally rotate. One more time each way. Externally, internally. And then this time, leave it externally rotated. And I want you to slowly lower that leg down about halfway. And then lift it up. Engage your abs, relax your shoulders. Lower it down. And lift it up. Lower it down. And lift. Two more. Lower it down. And lift. One more time. Lower it down. Lift. Draw that knee into your chest and stretch your hip a little bit. Then we're going to switch the yoga block to the opposite foot. Okay, so your feet are still parallel. We're going back into that bridge, right? We're pushing down as we roll up. Tuck the pelvis, roll it up. Make sure those hips stay level and then roll it back down. Roll it up. And down. Two more, bring it up. And down. And one more time, bring it up. And down. Once you come down, take that right leg up towards the ceiling. Give me that external rotation of the hip and then internally rotate it. So external, internal. Not really moving from the foot. Remember, we're moving from the hip joint. Externally, internally. Externally, internally. One more time. Externally, internally. This time, leave it externally rotated. You're going to lower down and halfway and lift and lower down. Is it Keith? Is that you, Keith? Can I help you?
I got a skin shot and I can, I don't know if y'all cover that. I got a empty hip.
Oh, we don't do that. Yeah, sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so, huh?
It's not your fault.
Always looking for a place that exercises.
It takes insurance, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want you to take that block and I want you to put it under your tailbone. Okay, so it's right under your tailbone.
This feels weird.
It does, but it'll feel good when you come up. Okay, relax the shoulders and then bring the legs up to tabletop. And you're just gonna do little tiny hip circles. So we're just circling keeping your knees together, just little tiny hip circles.
Keeping the knees.
Keeping the knees bent, yep. And then switch directions of those circles. Nice, and then go ahead and float those legs, feet down to the mat. Okay, so right here, we're gonna do these tiny little bridge lifts. And what I want you to think about is really the movement is coming from a lift of the hips and the glutes. What I want you to do is hover the block and then tap it down. So it's a hover as you lift the hips and tap it down. Engage the glutes to lift and then tap down and lower. Engage the glutes, lift, tap down and lower. 3 more. Lift, lower, lift, lower. 1 more time. Lift, lower, and then carefully take that block out from underneath you. Okay. We're gonna try this. Carla, you've done this before. I might come help you guys if you need it. You're gonna take your right foot up towards the ceiling and you're gonna place that yoga block on your right foot.
That's not gonna.
I'll come help you. You got it. Look at that.
Me?
Can you get it, Carla?
Yep.
Oh, look at her. Savannah had it.
Split second.
But I'm, yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Oh.
Oh. Half the battle's getting it up there.
Yeah,
Once
right.
you're there,
Now,
let
I've
me
never really done it myself.
okay, let me show the movement, then I'll come help you. Bring your left leg up too. Now, keeping your right hip anchored, you're gonna let that left leg fall out to the side and come back up. So I want you to get 3 or 4 in on this side.
Wait, I get it, I can get it.
She's like, I'm determined.
Yep.
Okay, now, okay, now you're gonna switch feet. So the easiest way to do that, hang on, keep it up there. Oh, I had it. Keep it up there. The easiest way to do that is just slide it over to your opposite foot, if you can. Okay, once it's on the left foot, let that right leg open to the side and come back up. So we're really working on the hip stability here.
Easier, wait. So easy, so she said.
There you go, Cindy. You got it, Savannah. Now open the opposite leg.
Yeah, keeping it up there.
The leg that has the block, you're keeping it there by anchoring your hip down and keeping your foot flexed, right? So that's a practice that we're gonna work on, is trying to keep that hip anchored as we hold something on that foot. And it's light enough that it's not gonna hurt you, right? How, there you go. Now straighten your leg, keep your foot flexed, bring the hip down, there you go. Gotta keep that leg straight, I know. There it is.
Easier on the other side.
Nice, okay. And then you're gonna take that block and let's roll to your right side. Okay, so laying on your right side, I want you to take that yoga block between your knees. And I want you to keep your,
Can I have a thingy?
oh yeah, you guys want hip pads?
Hip pads. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Anybody, Cindy, you want one too?
I don't know.
You're good?
I'm double padded.
Okay, you're double padded. Okay. You guys get relief, so you're on your right side. Bring the block in between your knees and you're on your right elbow. So here, I want you to think about keeping your shoulder down away from your ear, your abs are lifted. All I want you to do here is slowly kind of roll your hips forward with that block in between you, and then bring it and slowly roll it back. So we're gonna roll forward and back. Feel that hip shift a little bit. Forward and back. And forward. One more time. Forward. Back. Nice. From here, I want you to take that right leg out. Keep the block there if you can.
Right or left?
Sorry, your left leg, your top leg. You're shaking your top leg out. And all I want you to do is find where your hips are stacked. So feel how you go back and forth a little bit and find where they're stacked right on top of each other. I want you to flex that left foot and just gently push down into the block and reach this leg out through the foot. Nice, nice and long. Trying to feel where those hips feel stacked. Nice. Okay, now, if you let the block go, can you hold that there? And then from the hip, can you just lift? Nice. So think about lifting with the heel and the pinky toe side of the foot. So this whole top part of the leg here, outside part of the leg is lifting. Now hold it there, invert your toe. Give me that internal rotation we did. Tap it down and lift it up. Tap it down and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. One more. Tap and lift. Ooh. Shake it out, come to the other side. Did you feel it?
Yeah, my shoulders.
Your shoulders. We gotta work on getting that neck.
No.
Okay, that's coming. That's coming in the next couple weeks. Shoulders and neck. Okay. So start with them stacked. The block is between your knees. And I want you to shift those hips forward and back. So you're getting a little feedback from the block of what it's like to try to keep something there with those adductors kind of a little active as the hips go back and forth. Couple more. Nice, and then find it so it's even. Extend that right leg out. You're on the block. Flex your foot and kind of a little bit push down into that block. Nice. If you feel like you can hold it there, take the block away. Keep that little bit of a push down as you're right there, and then lift it up. Nice. Feel that glute working. Lift your chest. Try to stay out of that shoulder. Nice. Invert your toe. Get that internal rotation at the lift. Tap it down, lift it up. Nice. Trying to keep everything else stable. Just that hip is moving. Nice. And then shake it out. And let's come to a little quadruped position with that block. Position. It's quadruped. So your hands, you're on your hands and knees. Sorry. Hands and knees. Okay, so we're going to take that block and we're going to put it under our right knee. Your hands are directly under your shoulders and your knees are directly under your hips. So try to line yourself up. Got a nice long spine. All we're going to do is you're going to lift that left knee so it is the same height as your right knee. Okay, you can do this without the block too, Carla, if you want. And all we're going to do is drop that hip down and lift the hip. So you're getting a drop of the hip and a lift. The obliques are kind of kicking in here to help that hip come up. Give it a drop and a lift. And one more time, drop and lift. Nice, extend that leg out and just hold it there. Feel your hip working. Can you internally and externally rotate your hip when it's extended? What does that feel like in that hip? Feels weird, huh? Not something we normally do. One more time. Nice, and then come on down. Whew. Take that block to the left knee. Okay. So find that nice position again. Hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips. Then go ahead and lift that right hip so it's level with the left hip. From here, you're going to drop and lift. Dropping the hip down and lifting it. Drop and lift. Feel that pelvis just drop and the obliques help it lift. Two more. Nice. Now extend that leg out behind you and hold it there. Can you internally and externally rotate that entire leg from the hip back and forth Try to really focus on nothing else is moving. We're just rotating in the hip. Woo. One more time. And bring it down. Take that block away. Oh, nice job. Okay, ready to stretch your hips a second? Yes. Okay, take your hands out in front of you. Take your knees wide and your toes together. We're gonna push back into a child's pose. Oh, draw the shoulders back as you reach the fingertips out, sinking that tailbone back over your heels. Now from right here, walk your hands over to the right side and then push your hips to the left. So really thinking about pushing that left hip out and back past that heel, sending that energy out that way. And then come back to center and push yourself back again. Lengthen the arms, draw the shoulders back and down, lengthen the spine. And then this time walk your hands over to the left and sink your hips off to the right. Really visualizing that right hip pushing back out and over that heel as much as you can. And then bring yourself back and we're gonna roll over onto your back. I'm gonna do this one with you guys instead of just talking you through it. How's everybody feel? Good? Okay, good. A lot of hip work, a lot of feet and hips today, Cindy.
Yeah, with a little bit more balance.
Yeah,
To it.
exactly. Okay, so I'm just gonna have you guys lay down. You're gonna close your eyes and relax. We're gonna go back to that feeling of the grounding root into the ground with all of the fear, the anxiety, the stress, the tightness, anything we've been holding in our hips. I want you to really think about sending all of that out through that grounding root and open your heart up and your hips up to the bright healing light coming from above you. I want you to slightly bend your knees so your feet are on the floor. And just feeling like the wind is blowing your knees, I want you to kind of windshield wiper those knees back and forth, like you're the tall grass or the sunflowers blowing in the wind. Get a nice, easy rhythm of just falling side to side with those hips. Let your breath be the breeze. Inhale and exhale. And then let that breeze slow you down as you come back to center. Feel those hips once again grounding into your mat, opening to that healing light and letting all of the heavy energy sink into that grounding root. Bring your knees into your chest. You can go ahead and grab them with your hands if you want. Feel the stretch as the knees pull towards your chest. And then once again, like your breath is the wind, I want you to just rock side to side. Bring some motion into those hips so that anything that's stuck can just let go through that grounding root. As you bring your knees into your chest, open them up, let the hips open to the side. And then draw them around and together and back into your chest. Like you're making little circles in each hip, letting them open to the light, feeling them loosen up. And then maybe switch your directions if it feels good to you. Breathing into those hips and those circles. Calm breeze. And then go ahead and slowly bring your feet down to the ground. Let your arms extend by your side. This time I want you to extend your legs out nice and long. Let them relax. Let the feet fall as they will. Let the arms open to the side like you're in Shavasana. And I want you to go back to picturing that grounding root. It's going down through the floorboards, through the dirt, through the earth's crust, way to the center of the earth. It's strong, it's a hollow tube. Anything holding in those hips is emptying into that tube. You're releasing it, not holding on to it. Now focus on the light above you. Feel its warmth, its healing. Feel those hips open with that healing light. Maybe the feet will open a little bit more. Try to relax your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves. Shoulders are melting down. Your neck is relaxed. Jaw is melting in that sun. Everything feels warm, bright, and comfortable. Take your hands and just bring them to your hips. Focus on the right hip and the left hip. It carries so much as we walk through life. Give them thanks for that and give yourself thanks for taking care of them and moving them today. Take a nice big inhale as you fill that air all the way down into those hips. And exhale it out. One more time, inhale it in. Exhale it out. Take a second to feel the healing light and the groundedness. And when you're ready, you're going to slowly open your eyes. Bring yourself back to the room. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side and slowly bring yourself up. Nice job, you guys.
You're welcome.